Hey guys, Moose here. Welcome back to another episode of Life is Feudal Forest Village. We are hopefully not going to crash again. I don't know how this is going to work out. It looks like this was right before we told them to harvest, so we're going to take care of that real quick. I'm not really in a good place right now. You may have already seen a video I posted yesterday about monetization changes on YouTube, and that's put me kind of in a sour mood in the first place, but on top of that, dealing with the potential of this game just kind of blowing up on me, in that it may no longer be playable. There's someone in the channel Discord kind of going through a lot of issues with it. He can't even get a town start, he or she, I guess, I don't know their gender. They can't even get the town started because they just, no matter what they do, they just die. They just start dying. They don't go to their houses and they just starve for whatever. I couldn't figure out why either, based on the screenshots I saw, but it seems like the game is severely broken. We've now had 3 crashes recently during videos. Beyond that, we haven't had any issues, fingers crossed, but it sounds like other people are having issues that go above and beyond the ones that we've been having, so I'm really honestly kind of worried here. It does not paint a pretty picture, and that's kind of scary when you're almost 200 episodes deep in a YouTube series and might have it torpedoed by the game just breaking completely. So I'm a little scared. Hopefully that's not going to be a factor. Hopefully it gets fixed, either via patch or just, you know, maybe it's a graphical issue that some graphics driver fixes. I thought that's what it was, but seems to still be happening, so I don't know anymore. We'll see. Either way, I'm kind of nervous. And then, of course, the other issue, which I'll probably talk about a little bit here, but the YouTube stuff going on with changes to monetization. I misspoke a couple times in the video. I said demonetization instead of monetization. It'd be great if there were changes to demonetization, because that's the biggest issue YouTube's got right now, but they don't seem particularly interested in fixing that. They just like saying that they're fixing it without actually changing anything, so not likely to see much happening on that front, unfortunately. But talking a little bit about that, just in case you didn't watch the other video, basically, they're taking away monetization, or they're departnering. They're taking away YouTube partnership from anyone with less than 1,000 subs and less than 4,000 hours of of views, basically, over the last year. The 4,000 hours I'm not super bothered by. I feel like that's kind of a high number, but it's not high at all compared to the 1,000 subs. The 1,000 subs is rough. And that's kind of what pisses me off. And basically the gist of the video that I put out was, if you put that in a vacuum and just say that's the only thing going on, that's the only change, that's the only thing that's happened recently, yeah, okay, I'm probably fine with that. I could really be cynical about it and say, well, even if that was the only thing going on, it doesn't actually do anything to solve the problem that they claim they're trying to fix, which is mitigating the impact of bad actors. Which I guess is people stealing content or like posting Nazi propaganda or I don't know what the hell. I don't even know what that means anymore, because the biggest stars on YouTube seem to be bad actors these days, so it's difficult to take anything they say seriously anymore. So, yeah, but when you put it all within the context of things like the whole demonetization situation and all of that, it's really hard not to be cynical about anything they say. And also, they made a couple comments in their announcement that to me look like someone trying to lie, because I see it very frequently when people deliberately misrepresent data in order to support their point, banking on the fact that people generally are data illiterate and they don't know how to understand information. Which sounds like a simple thing, but I guarantee you it's really not. It's a complex issue, and it, I think, more than anything contributes to, I don't know how I want to phrase this, mistakes in business, maybe? I don't know, that's not necessarily it. Misunderstanding data contribute, like, it allows people to lie. Okay, for a second there I thought we were going to freeze, but looks like the autosave went out without a hitch. Misrepresenting data enables people to lie. And it enables them to lie without really lying. Because you can twist data to show pretty much anything. And it's not that hard to do that. For example, and this is what I brought up in the video, and this is what really frustrates me, is YouTube said in their announcement that of the channels affected, 99% of them make less than 100 a year, and 90% made less than 250 in the last month. Okay, on the face of it, it illustrates a point that they're making, that this isn't really avoiding payouts. This isn't really taking away revenue, because the people who are going to be hit are making very little. But I have a few comments about that. First off, what does channels affected mean? What channels are affected? Because if they're counting every channel that's partnered, that kind of doesn't... 99% means nothing. Because that's a massive pool with people who haven't done anything in 3 or 4 years, potentially. I don't know how they're counting that. I don't know who counts as a partner anymore. Partnership on YouTube was always, oh yeah, I'm YouTube partnered, and you say it sounds like a big deal, but it literally means nothing. So what does that mean? What does 99% of that number mean? And it could very easily mean nothing, which is why I'm frustrated with them putting out that number, because it looks like someone using statistics and data to lie. Misrepresenting data to tell a lie, to push a false narrative about something. That's what it looks like to me. And I know that because I see it at work. I see this everywhere. It's a very common thing to do, and it's a problem. Because people don't understand that you can lie with numbers that easily. So that's really frustrating, and it's difficult for me to have any faith whatsoever in light of everything that has happened, in light of statements like that. You know, when you open up your announcement saying, oh, we know 2017's been a rough year, you know, we feel bad for you guys. Here, bend over again. We're gonna shove it up your ass. It's hard for me to look at that and be like, oh yeah, you're commiserating with us. 2017's been a rough year because you fuckers made it a rough year. Why are you telling us it's been a rough year? We know it's been a rough year. You know it's been a rough year because you made it that way. Why are you telling me this like you're feeling sympathetic? If you were feeling sympathetic, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. So it's, you know, it's frustrating. Anyway, enough of that for the moment, but yeah, data is extremely easy to misrepresent, and it pisses me off when people do that. That's really all you need to know. So, back to Life is Feudal. I really, really hope it's not going to crash. Because the individual that does my art is not available right now, and if I have to start a new series to fill in for this, I can't get art. So not only is it, I really don't want to end the series, but I also really don't want to end it when I have nothing to replace it with. Right now I have one thing that I could replace it with, and it's not really a great replacement. And I'm probably going to be, I'm kind of counting on that to be the 3rd series anyway. I need to get that rolling. So I'd be down to 2 series if I got rid of this. And it's just, it's really ugly. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but I don't know, man. I just want things to work. The funny thing is, other than that, things are going great. Twitch is going great. I'm actually getting subs on YouTube. Like, things are going okay in general. It's just, we're getting slapped down in every other direction. It's like everything can either be amazing or terrible. There is no middle ground. Alright, we want to build more houses, but I'm going to hold off for the moment because we lack wood. I also need to get the bakeries back up, but I want to do that on pavement, and that's going to be a little rough. We kind of need to be patient for the moment. Food is not looking good, though. In fact, food is looking real bad. Right, I demolished this. Get rid of that. I can fill this in. I mean, I guess I could put farms out this way. I don't really like doing that, but I guess it's not that different. Well, no, because the houses are all on that side. Shit. Oh yeah, I don't really care about swearing anymore, because the whole demonetization thing, monetization, all this shit, it's like, okay, well, I don't care anymore. You're taking it away anyway. What do I care if you demonetize me? You already were taking most of my revenue by doing that. That's not strictly true, but it's definitely at least... I think I could justifiably call it about 10% of what would have been my annual revenue for 2017 got eaten by demonetization. Which is not that much, but it's enough for me to be frustrated. It's like a couple meals worth of money. It's enough for it to matter. And even if it wasn't, I'm putting the work in. What right do they have to say, oh, you don't get to make money off this video? Wait, no, you do, but only after the first day. Once we've reviewed it and identified, oh wait, no, we shouldn't have done that. That's not fair. It's not a reasonable thing to do. And when they say the bot's improving, I covered this in the video, it's BS. Anyway, this time for real, I'm going to step away from this topic. Kind of beating a dead horse at this point, even though it is an interesting subject and I've got a lot to say about it. Alright, we might want to trade for more... God, I don't really like how much wool we have is the problem. I need to let it recover. I really don't feel like we have a good option for trading for hide right now. I have to wonder if milk maybe trades for more. It's probably the same as eggs, given the kcal count. They appear that they would be interchangeable. Whether or not that's actually the case is another story, but it seems that way. Oh well, we're gonna have to basically just wait for trees to regrow. That's kind of where we're at right now. Research is proceeding rather slowly. Actually, that's not that bad. No, thinking about it again, this looks slow because of the time we've seen, but we have to remember the game crashed last time and they weren't even doing it for the full episode either. Or they were still getting clay for most of the episode, I think. So this actually isn't that slow. I should have considered that before I said it was slow. That's okay, we'll get there. But yeah, realistically, everything's fine. I'm just frustrated. There's enough things going wrong that I'm mad. It's not really hurting me that much. Nothing's really hurting me that much. It's just frustrating. Particularly the crash. Like, I'd be fine with the demonetization if... Well, no, I wouldn't be fine with it, but... that doesn't matter as much as the crashes do, because this series is where most of the views come from. Justifiably, it's probably the best series I've got. It's also very long running, so it makes sense. So if this just shits itself and I can't play Life is Feudal anymore, it kind of puts me in a rough spot. But there's always another game. I just wish there were more games like this that were like kind of Banished-like. I understand why there aren't, but it's weird. Like, if you look at the landscape, let's actually talk about that for a minute, because it's interesting. If you look at city builder, town builder landscape, there isn't really anything that sticks out as the game. Like, you could say maybe it's Banished. Banished is the good title that's quality and all that, but is it really? Because it seems to have extremely small amounts of content. You know, and nothing else I've played on the channel really even comes close to that. Life is Feudal is probably as close as you get to being a better version of Banished, but it's not stable, so I can't really justify saying that it's a better version of Banished. It doesn't, like, if it was stable, maybe I could make that statement and be okay with it, but if it's not stable, how do I say that and take myself seriously? Line these up. Okay, they are lined up, so that is where I want that. I'm going to let them take resources to it. It's relatively cheap to get it built right away, but I am going to pause it, so we'll leave it where it is for a minute after all the resources are there. I just want the foundation for lining up everything else. So yeah, Banished isn't really... I don't feel like I can say that Banished is the best game, because it genuinely, when I played it, it left me wanting more. And if it's not giving me more, then it's not the... It's not the one. It's not the, this is what this genre should be. So I don't feel like town builders have that. You might, okay, well if you expand it and say city builders, well what about something like City Skylines? Is that in there? Well, City Skylines has its own issues for sure, but I also think it's a different kind of game. That's more of a management game. This is a little bit different, I think. So, I don't think this genre has a game that is the game, genuinely. I just don't think there is one, so I wish someone would come along and make that. Because I think you could do a good job with this. I wouldn't mind making it, but I don't have the time, money, or expertise to do it, so it's a little rough. Sorry about that, I had to cough. But sooner or later, someone's got to make one, right? There's got to be one out, or maybe there is one and I'm just missing. Well, no, I don't think I'm just missing it, because if it was out there and it was that good, I would know about it, right? Because it'd be popular. And there's similar games that exist, but not quite there. And you could say, well, modded Banished, but I don't put much faith in that either, I guess. Alright, we're getting to be at 0. Time to start growing again. I think we're gonna not do oats this year. I'd rather do potato there, because we're starting to run out of food and that scares the hell out of me. Genuinely scares the crap out of me. Do you have enough to run fishing? We do. I'm not super a fan of how many people we have left at that point, but we don't really have that much that needs doing anyway. And I had 3 extra because I demolished that fisherman's lodge without noticing. Yeah, we're fine. We're alright here. Is that all in? Yeah, okay, pause that. And we will pause this one once it's done. I think we're fine on clothing, so we get rid of these. Probably demolish them. We don't have the hides anyway, and we don't really have line of sight to getting more in a reasonable way. So we're just gonna get rid of this and expand the pavement. How far do I want to go? Okay, what does this account for? This is gonna be 20, that's gonna be 48 people. I could get rid of these. And that's it. God, moving these hostels is going to be such a pain. Do we build temporary? I guess we have to build temporary housing to deal with that, probably. Oh, that sucks. Okay, well, what if I expand in this direction? Well, first off, I don't want to expand in that direction because it's further away from the farms, but... What options do I realistically have? Because I could expand this way if I built the farms down here, which certainly is tempting for a number of reasons. Let's resume the game here and let it run for a minute. Do I want to do that, or do I want to put farms over here? From a distance perspective, it's looking like... What if I put them out here? This seems like the best option, honestly. But then I have to relocate all this, which is not insignificant. But I have options for doing that, like around here, maybe? Because we don't really need it here. The only reason we had it here in the first place was proximity to the old town, which is gone at this point, so... Yeah, maybe that's the right move. The other issue is we'll need to build more towers, I guess, but... I mean, that seems fine, right? I think that's a reasonable alternative. And then I can build farms here, and I can always expand down this way if I need to. Yeah, this seems like the right move. So let's go ahead and get started on that. And mercifully thank the game for not crashing thus far. Oh, holy crap, we're actually at the end of the video almost. So that's good. We actually almost made it to the end of a video without a crash. Somehow I'm relieved. We'll see if it continues that way. It should. Honestly, I'm talking a lot of crap, but it realistically should continue to be fine. I don't think I don't think we're going to have that many issues, honestly. Doesn't mean we won't. I just think probably we're going to be alright long term. Alright, so this is maybe a temporary situation. We might clear, like the castle has no reason to exist once research is done, so I can relocate it again, which I'm probably going to try to do. A lot of this stuff should be redone anyway, so let's start with the farm. Start with the donkey farm. Game's lagging a bit, which was happening immediately prior to the crash last time, so I'm getting a little bit antsy about this. Terraforming might be part of the issue. I don't know. Let's look at something else and see if it doesn't break. I'm not looking at it. You shouldn't break. Don't break. Don't break the game. It is chugging like a motherfucker right now. Like, it is... I don't know how much you guys can see this, but it is chugging like crazy. If I interact with the game in any way, it just, like, eats itself. Alright, well, let's save what we can. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you'll join us for the next one as well. If you did enjoy it, you can come by twitch.tv/electronicmoose, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, 6 to 8 p.m. PST, 9 to 11 p.m. EST. Check out a stream if you'd like. If not, thanks for watching here on YouTube, and I'll see you next time. Take care.